Oh, Ron, man, I'm doing great. I am doing so good.
Yeah, I've heard most people say they cannot wait till Thursday.
What's Thursday?
They just want recruit to get over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man,
I've heard that from, I know at least 3 people.
This is better than Christmas. This is really
better than Christmas.
It is, man. I mean, good night. This is, I won't hardly get any sleep this week. I'll be writing.
Tomorrow night you're coming up to Inman, right, or Spartanburg?
Yes, sir.
Sit in on Marcus Lattimore's announcement.
Yeah, I'm coming up there, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm planning on being at the church, and I'm gonna listen to what he says, and I'm just looking forward to it. I want to see where South Carolina's best athlete is going to school next year.
I'll tell you what, I'm hoping that the pastor of the church, before Marcus makes his decision, that he passes the plate.
They got to pass the plate at least once, and they just need to tell visitors when they come in, be ready to give big.
That's right.
Give big.
If you don't give, you don't need to be there.
That's right. This is not a spectator church. This is not a spectator church.
That's right, yeah. And I think they should do it before he announces. That way, if he doesn't say what everybody wants to hear.
Oh, well, man, Ron, this is a church, so we're going to have a little praise music, maybe a little worship music. If somebody wants to come, from what I hear, they can just plan on coming. If they fill up the church, they're going to send the other people over to the gymnasium, and they will have it on a big speaker, so they'll hear everything. So
I didn't realize they were going to do that. I'm not sure how many people the church holds, but I will say this, and I don't mean this in a bad way. There'll be people in that church that probably have never seen inside of a church before.
Rhonda, you not...
But you know what? I've heard people say you shouldn't have it in the church, but you know what? What I just said makes a lot of sense. If one person was to go in there, and maybe you never know what might happen. They might say, wow, maybe this is for me. Let me come back.
They might get convicted. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be about. You go into church, you get convicted, and you're like, hey, maybe I need to come back on Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it just touches one person, it'll certainly be worth it.
Well, you're right. And I think there's going to be a lot of people touched tomorrow night. I just think this is... I think the way Marcus Lattimore's parents have handled this whole thing, it's just, they've really been very methodical about it. They've kept a big filing system on every coach that they've just talked to and gone through this process with, and they've just done a tremendous job. And from everything I've read and heard about them, they are. They have helped their son through this process, and I encourage every parent who has a child going to play college football to find out what they've done, because my understanding is when they went into when they would go visit a coach, that Marcus would sit outside the door and the 2 parents would go in and they would talk to the coach first, and that the coach had to go through the parents first. That was the first sale, and then if they felt like that they were dealing with a man of character and a man where they trusted their son, they would let Marcus come in and be a part of the discussion. But it took all the pressure off of Marcus, and it really helped out. It helped them to get to know the coaches and just to really find out who the best fit was for Marcus at this point in his life.
Yeah, well, the football up at Byrnes the last 10 years has gone to a new level, and most of that is because of Bobby Bentley.
Yeah.
A lot of those young men up there, they look at Bobby Bentley, as a father figure, somebody, and there's no doubt about this, somebody that they can trust. They, if they ask Coach Bentley, he'll give them his opinion, I'm sure. If not, I think Coach Bentley more or less stays out of it. But I've heard Marcus Lattimore several times mention, Coach Bentley, when he starts talking about people that have influenced his life. So yeah, Marcus Lattimore, if you're a South Carolina fan, an Auburn fan, a Clemson fan, a Georgia fan, let me just tell you, he's a fine person, and so he doesn't go to your school. Marcus Lattimore is a person that I can't pull for.
Absolutely, and I just think this kid has a lot of character. And I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say tomorrow night at that church, and just I think it's going to be interesting to hear what he says. This is I'm under the understanding there will be TV cameras there. I don't know if ESPN will be there or not, but I do know there will be TV cameras and at least one radio station will be covering the thing live. It will be on the news. I mean,
oh, no doubt. If I was a Gamecock fan, if I was Coach Steve Spurrier, tonight I would make one little phone call. You know who I'd call?
Who?
I would call Tyler Stroud and say, Tyler, we're paying for your gas, and we want you to go to church tomorrow night.
Is Tyler going to be there?
No, I don't think so. But I think if Tyler was there, I think it's closed if he was to be there.
Yeah, it probably would. And maybe we can talk about Tyler a little bit tomorrow night when I come up there. My plan is at this point to leave fairly early tomorrow and head to Spartanburg, and then I'm going to the church. And then as soon as that thing is over, I'm coming over to your station, and we're gonna talk about Marcus Lattimore and just the process of everything that's going on. And I'm looking forward to spending a couple hours talking football with you, Ron.
Good, and if you will, take a picture. I just want to see if that hat fits.
If that hat fits, okay. I'll get some pictures. I got me a good camera, and I got a professional camera. I'll get some real good pictures for you, and we can put a couple of them on your website as well.
Hey, you're not bringing that video camera in here tomorrow night.
Oh, you know I am. I mean, goodness gracious. Hey, Ron, I didn't even tell you, man. I got on that video where you told me that Marcus Lattimore was guaranteed to go to South Carolina. I am up to 3,500 views on that one video, and I bet only 400 of them were. I've only gotten about 400 fairly mean emails from Auburn fans.
Yeah, now, are they any life-threatening phone call? Emails or anything?
No, nothing like that. Just they're making mostly. They're talking about our intelligence and that kind of thing. That there's some comments that
in Auburn.
Yeah, there's some.
I'm not getting too much credit.
they're making some funny comments about our intelligence. I think that Auburn people, and I understand it. Their whole thing is they think that they are the running back university, and they have had a number of great running backs there. But I don't think a lot of Auburn fans understand South Carolina's history, and I know that Auburn fans they're not expecting what South Carolina fans are expecting out of the Gamecocks next year. And I'm telling you, when South Carolina goes down there to Auburn next year, that's going to be a good game. And especially because of Eric Mack going to Auburn, and whatever happens with Lattimore, that is going to be close to a rivalry game.
Well, now, does South Carolina play Auburn next year?
Yes, sir. And Auburn plays Clemson, too, back to back. They play Clemson, and then they play South Carolina. Both of them are in Auburn. So they're going to get their taste. And, this DJ Howard thing, he was an Auburn commit, and some things kind of went this way and that way, and now he's looking like he might be a Clemson commit. So we won't know till tomorrow.
Have you heard anything about maybe Auburn backing off on him since he did take that visit to Clemson and they didn't want him to?
I think what we're looking at is I think he wants to be a running back, and I think that's what Clemson is recruiting him for. Auburn was believing that they were going to get Lattimore, so they were recruiting him more as a safety, which he could play either position, but I think he prefers to play running back. But at this point, I don't think Auburn's going to get him. Auburn has a fine class. They're still top 5, but I don't think they're going to get him, and there's a 50-50 chance they might not get that Coleman. He's looking real hard at Alabama. He's a kid out of Mississippi, and he's a 5-star recruit, and he was at the top of their class. So if they don't get him, and they don't get Lattimore, and they don't get DJ Howard, it's going to be a victory party in Auburn, but it's not going to be the celebration that they may have wanted.